Don't look at the, did you get,
Okay.
we have, one of our agents lost her father.
Okay.
She's ALC, top agent here, and funerals are going on right now.
Oh,
So a lot of people that normally are here are there. That's why we're doing this.
totally.
Because they're like, we want to see this, we're zooming this because there's so many people that want to be here.
Yeah, totally.
That made that decision, so. Well, I hope there's more than 3.
Yeah, they're all coming.
But if there's not, we will live with 3, but let's just give it a few minutes.
I love this setup. This is
Isn't
great.
this nice?
Yeah.
We used to have it with the table,
Yeah,
but you couldn't see over it very well.
yeah.
And then it was like this little tiny stool. So, smile to the camera.
I smile at you the whole time. Like I was literally sitting there like this.
I didn't even notice. Now I have to watch
You
it
did.
again.
It was so bad.
I
They were
gotta
like,
watch it
they
again.
were like, what were you
You're
doing?
right.
I was like, I was trying to follow the instructions.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
It was wild, but it's fine.
Okay, well, you know what? We said 10:30. We got 2 more minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh,
put
there's
this on.
Kyle. You know Kyle Davis?
Yes,
Becky.
hi Kyle. Yes, I do know Kyle.
And everybody else. Sorry, I'm not, it's not that Kyle is special. I just thought they probably know each other just because of, yeah.
That's so funny.
So I was just on a mastermind this morning with Gary Keller,
Oh,
the
nice.
team leaders. You listened to him forever.
I know.
And he's
so
just
smart.
coming off COVID.
He's so smart.
He's been down with COVID. He says,
Oh,
I'm just
that's
getting back to life.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, and then to be in front of a camera for a computer for 2 hours.
Yeah, bless. I know those are long calls.
Yeah.
Those are very long calls.
So I'm just gonna pick some of these. Okay, and you just go with it.
I'm good.
Because I wanted to focus on you, but Vicki was saying that you did such an awesome job on the rock building. I did pick up some of that. So we're gonna have to focus on it because I think it's
Brady's always late, but he's coming.
Well, I just saw him walk by.
Oh, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can't be on time. That should be
You know,
Making an entrance, right? Yeah. I'm late everywhere.
Are
But
you
I-
one of those?
Oh, everywhere. Yeah, except if I have to be like, if I'm like the person that I'm gonna be there. But like if I'm just attending something, I'll be like, I get there when I get there on the phone.
I am habitually early.
No, in fact, if I am, if like, so my EA, like she will legit pick me up at my house and be like, you're not going to be late to this. I will drive you there. She drives me to appointments because she's like, I don't trust you. So
They tell you that the appointment is 30 minutes.
That's having
yeah.
your
No, they haven't started doing that to me yet, but they would, but she will be like, I will be at your house at this time and I am driving you there.
My husband puts everything 10 minutes early on his watch, on his truck. I'm like, but you know it doesn't work.
No,
You're
let
still
me tell
late.
you. So like when I was pregnant with our youngest, the church we were going to, the preacher was like super elderly, and his wife also obviously super elderly. And I was late. Everybody had like 2 little kids, and I was like huge pregnant. And she was like, "Would you like me to share some insight as to how I got my family to church on time when they were small?" And I was like, "Sure, Miss Ruth, hit me." I'm trying so hard. I will never forget that though. I was like,
Did she give you any words of wisdom that worked?
set their clothes out the night before.
Sleep in them. We'll roll you out of bed. Okay, it is 10:31. I'm a couple minutes late, but we're going to go ahead and get started. This is our monthly icon series. And the point of this is to bring people in. We did this for several years, where during COVID, we did it during COVID, everything was Zoom. So we were fortunate to get top agents in the Keller ecosystem all over the United States. And they would Zoom in, and that was fabulous. And then we were so sick of Zoom, we said, no, we're doing live. And so first we've got a lot of icons sitting here in our office. So we would bring live folks here in to tell their story, how they got into real estate and things about them. And then we decided to start reaching out to other agents in the marketplace and the ones that were super successful and bring them in. And Becky, you've been here before. But we're excited to have you back. So thank you for saying yes. And a little bit about Becky. Things that I like to always bring up is she is an icon. And one of the reasons she's an icon is in the last 12 months, she closed 104 units at 25 million in production volume. So we give her a little hand for that. Congratulations. But I wanted to talk to her because she has a few different things that are a little bit different. But before we get started, I'm going to just ask you a few questions. First of all, I love Jason Abrams. You know, he's my
I
favorite
love
person.
that podcast too.
And he always asks, how did you get into the most incredible profession on the planet? I moved the words around a little bit.
Yeah,
but
no, that's
what
perfect.
brought you in here?
So I was a stay-at-home mom, and I am not very good at sitting still. So I did a home-based business situation. And I did really well. I was like a national trainer, and I was over, 350 women, and I was always going. And I was training one of our new people, and somebody there at her home was like, who I kind of knew, she was like, why are you doing this? Like, you can make so much more money doing real estate. And I was like, oh no, I don't think so. That's not for me. And then somebody else, I was like, that sounds very serious. And very grown up. And then a couple days later, our real estate agent that helped us purchase our home called me and was like, I feel like I need to tell you this. Like, I've been thinking about you, and this is random, and you can totally ignore it if you want. But like, I just really feel like I need to ask you if you have ever thought about real estate. I'm like, absolutely not. That sounds very serious. And I said to my husband, I said, in the last couple of days, and he goes, oh my word, you would be great at that. I'm like, oh, dang, fine. and so I passed my test. What's hilarious is, so I'm from the restaurant industry. So my degree is in hotel and restaurant administration. I did a study abroad at a culinary school in Switzerland when I was in my early 20s. And I have no fingerprints, because if anybody here has waited tables for any amount of time, you know how the server's holding a plate and they say, this is really hot, don't touch it, but she's standing there holding it. Yeah, like I have no fingerprints because I'm constantly burning my hand. Anyway, it took me like 2 months to get my license
Because of the fingerprinting?
Because of the fingerprinting. I had passed my test because at that time, you had to fail the ink test like 3 or 4 times before they would let you go to OSBI. So I had clients lined up, and I'm like, I have to pass my fingerprint.
Wow. Okay, that's
So fun fact, but I don't
rub.
rub things. I don't do that, but I don't have good fingerprints. I'm the one holding up the line at Disney World when they're like doing the thing, and I'm like, it doesn't work. But
This is my
Interesting.
fingerprint.
I know.
This is
Wow.
it. This is it. So when did you get in? How long have you been doing this?
2015.
Okay. All right. Coming to your 10th year. So what's something people would be really surprised to learn about you?
I mean, I think most people are surprised to know that I come from a restaurant background, and that I did that study abroad program. I think that's surprising to people. Because I would never work in a restaurant now, because the family life balance is horrible, which is why I didn't pursue that after.
Well, they say a lot of people coming from hospitality do
Yes,
well, a lot of transferable skills.
Yeah. And I love that book, Unreasonable Hospitality. I don't know if you
That's a
guys
good
have read
one.
that, but that is one of my favorite books, because I'm like, yes, all the things. Yes. Yep. I know about, what I mean?
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about your superpower. If someone were to say to you, what are you great at when it comes to being in this industry and the life of a real estate agent, team, rainmaker? What is it? What about you is like, this is my superpower? What are you great at?
I am great at collaboration. I am a collaborator 100%, and that is with my team, and that's also with my clients. I have a really good innate ability to walk into a situation and figure out how to work together with someone.
Oh, okay. What's your kryptonite?
Probably my inability to sit still. Like I just am, so that work-life balance that I knew I wasn't getting with real estate or with the restaurant industry, like I have to be really purposeful about it because I have an insane amount of energy and I have an insane amount of grit and I do not sit down.
How do you harness that? How when you have to be very intentional about it, what do you actually do? Coming from a fellow energy problem
Mhm, mhm.
child.
I have found that, and I think it goes back to collaboration because with myself, I appreciate people who are very direct and honest with me. I'm very transparent. I'm transparent in my negotiations, but so with the people who I surround myself with, I'm very purposeful and people who feel comfortable, they can match my energy and match my vibe, so to speak, and be like, that's enough. I've got that. You go over there. Right. So I have really, really good people in my ecosystem.
It's all about surrounding that, right?
Mm-hmm. Making sure you have people who will have the confidence to stand up to you.
Yeah. So did you start at Keller Williams?
Mm-hmm.
What keeps you here?
Well, I don't really have time to change.
That's not the answer I wanted, Becky. Come on.
But the truth,
But she's honest.
I am
No,
honest. But I will tell
appreciate
you but truly, here's the thing. Keller Williams provided me such a strong support system. And then I believe in paying it forward. And so I truly believe that like if everybody that we trained and supported took that and left and didn't stay and give that back to the community, I just think, I don't know, I just feel like that's the character that the staying power agents have, is that seeing that you gave to me and continue to, there's a continuation of support, but then seeing the value in giving back to those agents and how important that is to keep this wonderful thing going.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Okay. I want to transition a little bit because we were just talking about, you've got a passion project and you have also incorporated that into your business. And I will talk about, you were recently on Channel 9 News and I was getting ready in the morning. I saw her, I'm like, oh my God, that's Becky. And you were talking about a few things, but I also know that in this world that you're providing for, it's for our seniors. And you're doing so much there. And I would love for you to share kind of what you're doing and how that is all dovetailing into your business and where that came from inside you.
Okay. So, as you may or may not know, my husband is an estate planning attorney. He does probates and things. And so because of that, I started doing a lot of probates. I'm excellent at a probate and I know the right questions to ask. And so I was working with a lot of families and I just note, and we go to church at Central Church of Christ in Moore. And that is a little bit of an older, please come if you're looking for, but because we need young families, but there's an older group there. And I started working for that older group. It just my business kind of naturally went that way. And then I was approached by another business owner who that was her niche. I was really nervous about having a niche at first because I thought, oh my word, what if like the other members of my sphere don't call me because they're like, oh, I'm not 84, so Becky can't help me. That was a little bit scary to me to do that, but it has solidified my belief that when you do choose to have a niche, your business flourishes. You become very, very good at what you do. And you become very well connected with the best resources. And when you walk into a networking group or something like that, and you say, I'm a real estate agent, I help people buy and sell houses, no one will remember that. Like nobody remembers that. It's too broad. But when you walk into a room and you say, my specialty is working with seniors and their families as they downsize, then as they go about their lives, they remember. And then somebody hears something and they're like, I met Becky. Right. And so it really kind of brings that top of mind mentality.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So it started because your husband, that's.
It was
kind
a
of
natural progression.
Natural.
And I will say something that maybe you don't like, but I'm going to say it. Because you know how everybody's like, oh, up your price point, like up your price point. You just need to up your price point. And my husband said that to me too. He was like, if you want to make more money and the same amount of time, up your price point. And that has always hit me in, like, I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. Like it, you know how people say things to you and it hits you in your gut. Like, that is not me. And I said, you know what? Other people can up their price point. That's fine. That can be fine for some people. I get it. And I just really want to be the person that steps in with the calm and the plan for the hard. And that's okay. And we do have minimums in our office. We have some standards that we like, you know, are like, listen, we are happy to help you in order for us to provide the service that we provide. It costs this much because this is our minimum commission that we take. But, and that's a hard conversation with people sometimes, but I also feel like we can figure it out. We can do it with grace and with respect and with kindness. And I don't feel the need to up my price point. I just don't, I don't, that's not my goal. And it doesn't sit well with me. So I will say but it does sit well with some people, like, you know, like I no judgment, but it's just not, you do you, boo. But for me, like that's where my heart is.
I appreciate that. And I respect that. That does not bother me at all to say. You're a business owner and you get to decide, and that's really okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about this. So of the 104 transactions you did, how many were people 84?
That question was not on your sheet.
I know.
I thought
going
as I was walking
bit.
in here. Okay, so I track everything, like everything, and so I can pull that with a click of a button. But I don't know for that specific.
But
I will
roughly.
tell you for last year, 2/3 of our business.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you have some ancillary things going on too.
I own a couple of businesses. I'm sorry. What was your question?
I'm sorry.
Catch that. So what was the question again?
Of her transactions, how many were of 84-year-olds and older,
Oh,
meaning
gotcha.
seniors?
Yeah.
I was just curious with such a focus in that
Niche. Yeah.
in that niche, then how
Yeah.
many people?
And I
Did
will
she
tell
serve?
you this too, like your sphere will still call you. So if you choose to niche down and be the expert at something, your sphere still calls you. They don't, that was my realization that I came to.
Yeah.
They still call you. You just get more referrals.
Right. That's it.
Your referral business goes up when you niche.
So is it, I can imagine there's a lot of stories that probably have impacted you in working with elderly family. And I just speak to it because I have an elderly parent, and it is a challenge and it's hard. And I realize there's a lot of other people going through that, you know, they're aging. I'm aging, but they're really aging.
Yeah.
It's got to be heartbreaking and rewarding. And do you have a particular story that stands out?
Yeah.
Of a family that you were able to serve?
Yeah. And I will say in our office, we laugh a lot because you have to. So there's a lot of things that we deal with. We had a house that, so here's a good one. So you asked me about ancillary businesses. I do own a couple of ancillary businesses. They are not money makers by any means. They enhance our services.
We're going to talk. I want to hear what those are.
Yeah. So one of them is listing prep. And because what I have found is that a real estate, someone who doesn't specialize in this may be tempted to come in and say to that senior, okay, well, you need to do this and this and this, and the photographer will be here next week. And they literally cannot. Have you noticed that the older adults in your life, they can do one thing a day? Like you call them, you're like, when can I come over? And they're like, well, not on Tuesday because I have a doctor's appointment at 9:30. Yeah. And you're like, okay, so that's right. That's normal in our office. Like we're like, you know what I mean? We understand that. So anyway, when you ask a senior to do a lot of things, one of two things happens. They don't. That's the most common thing that happens. The other thing that likely will happen is they will try to hire someone to do that, and then they will be taken advantage of by that person. I have some stories I can tell you about. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. What I will tell you is if you see a company, and this is what I tell them all the time, if you see a company on the news, you are paying for their, or not on the news, like a commercial when you're watching the news, is what I mean to say. If you see a commercial on TV, when you hire that person, you are paying for their commercial. I just need you to understand that, right? So like that's a conversation we have a lot. So, all right, so I have a family. My client's a widow. She's having some cognitive issues. She has allowed an adult child to move in with her. He is an alcoholic and not able to manage her estate. Her cognitive abilities continue to decline. Her brother from out of state doesn't know what to do. He's now trying to help her, he's become the trustee and is trying to navigate all of that. We go look at the house. I kid you not. I'm sitting there speaking with her, and her irate alcoholic son is sitting at the table as well, trying to tell me how to do my job, which, and as I'm talking to her, y'all, a bed bug literally walks down her arm. And so I was like,
Burn it down.
super fun. So I'm like, okay. So I leave. I literally called my husband and I said, meet me in the garage.
I need a
because
shower.
nothing I have. And I had an 18, my oldest son was in the house, and I'm like, he doesn't need to see me stripped down in the garage, but you have to bring clothes out here because I am not going in the house, trash bag, all of it. So, and I'm talking my purse, everything. I'm like, it doesn't matter, out. So anyway, we worked with the husband or the brother out of state is out of sorts. So we come in, that one was so bad. That one was so bad. We had to hire a hazmat team to go clean the back of the house. Y'all, this is not a bad house. This is a beautiful, built in probably early 2000s. If I had to guess, I can't remember for sure. Beautiful home, brick, gorgeous home. We had to hire a hazmat team to go in the back of the house. Obviously, we've moved them out. We've gotten rid of all the stuff, explained to them we can't do an estate sale. Everything has to be thrown away, which is a difficult conversation to have. And at any rate, prep the home. We got 11 offers on it, and we're able to do all of that, just basically working with the out-of-state brother. And she's been moved into her community and have, a situation with the son. And so those are the ones that take a particular strategy and a particular skill set and the right connections. I've got one coming where I've already called the drug dogs and said, hey, I'm going to need you to send the drug dogs by this house because
Yeah, we're going to need them.
super fun. So y'all can sell pretty houses and I will call the drug dogs, and that's okay.
Wow.
It happens sometimes. Yeah. But it was a situation with a probate, and it was a super fun.
So let's go back to those ancillary services. So this list ready. What is it?
Okay, so my companies are, and I will say also everything if you decide to start doing things, this is really important. If you start to, and this is attorney's wife sitting here, so I'm going to put my attorney's wife hat on real quick. If you start to begin ancillary services, make sure that you have the correct paperwork, because the thing to remember, and the correct legal licensing and things like that, because the important thing to remember in everything that you do is that your real estate business is the business that you don't want anyone to touch. So if something goes sideways and you're running everything out of your real estate business, and that is my problem with agents that are like, well, I'll just do this for somebody. Well, I'll just do this. Well, I'll just run over here and do this. Stop that. Stop.
Yeah.
Because that could go really, really great for 99% of the time.
And then there's the one.
And then there's the one, and they take everything you've worked so hard for. So please make sure. So we have, and I have a few ancillary businesses, but the two that I would like to talk to you about are my Make Ready business and our Move Coordination business. Both of those are concierge services. I am not a GC. And we were very clear with people that we're not GCs. I don't want that type of insurance. It's a concierge, kind of like personal assistant type situation. I have a move coordinator. She meets with the senior. She's great. She actually goes to the senior community, measures the room, brings the diagram back, shows our client, okay, this is exactly what you have room to bring. And sometimes she has to have conversations like, I know that you want to bring all 14 of your curio cabinets, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. It may mean that you can't bring any chairs to sit in, but you can have your curio cabinets. Like, we just have to make a decision. And so, yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. And so then they decide that she coordinates with, the packers and the movers. So we don't actually pack and move.
You hire that out.
We hire that out. And then we move them in one day. So then on move day, what happens is the move coordinator comes in and she is the person to give directions to the movers and the packers, because that way we usually get our senior busy, like having coffee at the community. Like, let's get over there and you can make some friends. And then we'll make sure that everything goes to plan, because we have a very, very strict plan of what move day looks like. And by the time my move coordinator leaves the senior community that night, beds made. If there's a kitchen in the unit, kitchen's put away, bathroom medications, things like that are put away. We usually can't get the entire thing unpacked in one day, but we can get it to where they can go to sleep and find their coffee cup in the morning.
Oh, that's fabulous. So is that just for your own businesses, or
yes, we do not offer that to, in fact, we get a lot of phone calls. It's like, oh, my cousin's a real estate agent. I'm like, the only way that this business makes sense is as part of our real estate, because they are not many. We are not in the red. Like, I'm very purposeful about,
being profitable,
but it is not, no one's making any money off that.
How many people are in that business?
So I have a move coordinator, and then my make ready team has two. So I've got two people that work on that. I've got one that's on the make ready side and one that's on the move coordination side.
So what's make ready? Is that preparing for the move?
That's preparing the home to go on the market.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that look like?
Usually our make ready is going to be an estate sale or a buyout or a haul off, clearing the excess personal items after a move.
Gotcha.
And then, so we coordinate that, usually a deep clean in windows, almost everybody deep clean in windows. And then, many times we'll do carpet and paint. It just depends. So I do like a side-by-side, and I give people scenarios. And so I'm like option 1, option 2, option 3. Yeah. Right. And so we look at them together and see what makes the most sense for that house, but it's very case by case.
Gotcha. I love the package.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just take care of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's good for this demographic, because it's very confusing when they're having to navigate all of that. And so knowing that they've got an end to end is really important.
I think that's critical, especially
for families too.
Because a lot of these families are extended and they're not close by.
Right.
And even if they were, I'm telling you, I would much rather have an independent person coming in and have a conversation with my mom about giving up some of the things she can't take with her than me.
Well, what we have found is that it allows children to be children. It allows the adult children to be that and not the boss.
Oh.
And it keeps things very smooth.
Tia's over there shaking her head. She goes through. Yeah.
It's okay.
She deals with elderly as well. So, okay. So thank you for all that, but we're going to shift gears a little bit, because I was told that Becky did recently, you at KW Summit, you were interviewed about wealth building. And I thought, I really don't want to miss out on this opportunity to talk to her about that. And Vicki was kind enough to send me some of the questions, and I thought they were brilliant. So it may sound redundant to you, but it won't to us. It'll be the first time for us. So I want to hear about your kind of your wealth journey. I mean, at what point did you start saying, I can build wealth through this thing called real estate? Or did you?
No, I did. My husband and I, that is our retirement plan. It's our retirement plan is to have, and we don't have very many rental properties right now. So we're very new on that. Listen, I'm a bad investor because I'm risk averse. I'm very risk averse. And so it has to be like the stars have to align. Mm-hmm. But when they do, I make really good decisions. My husband, actually, we were just talking about that, and he was like, babe, we've got to buy something else. I'm like, it's not good. I mean, can we agree that like, it's really kind of hard to find a property that is like gonna actually cash flow right now. And so, I'm like, oh, it's hard. But it's kind of like bringing home puppies. That's how I got started. And I would sit down with somebody and they would be like, our first rental property, I sat down and I was like, oh, friend, I'll just buy this. I'll just buy this. And I'm like, cause I was thinking to myself, like, this is not going to be a good situation. So I called my husband and I was like, hey, we're buying a house. He was like, awesome. And then we got into it. He was like, babe, is this even a good idea? And I'm like, it is. You have to trust me. And it is. It's actually our best property. It's our best property.
How many do you have?
Only 4 right now. Right now we have only 4. And then but the wealth building conversation. So I don't have 30. But the conversation that I had with Vicki was seeing the opportunity when it presents yourself and being ready for it. We could buy a property today. If we needed to buy a property today, we could do that. And also by owning the Senior Living Truth Series, that is also my wealth building opportunity as well. So I kind of have some different things. So we can talk about rentals. I definitely do that and know that, but Senior Living Truth Series is probably
I
the
wanted
bigger
to
one.
talk about that because I think when we say building wealth, I'm saying through your real estate sales, it gives you the opportunity to build other businesses. And
Yeah.
whether it is investing in real estate or this other series that you're going to talk about.
Yeah, so Senior Living Truth Series is just a blessing to me. And I have to say the credit goes back to Chris and Nikki Buckaloo, 100%, because they started it 10 years ago. They approached me. Yes. So we are in our 10th year. And they approached me about purchasing it. And I jumped at it. Actually, the interesting thing, like God really does a job on our hearts too, because I don't think I would have done it had I not looked into purchasing a different business a year or so before and decided it wasn't for me. Someone else had approached me about purchasing a business and we went through the business appraisal process and looking at all of that. And I kind of, when push came to shove, I was like, I'm not passionate about this. So Chris and Nikki came to me and about this Senior Living Truth Series. So we have 150 seniors that come every single month.
Why don't you tell, is that what you're telling us what it is?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a seminar series. It's free to seniors. And we have about 150 people in the room every month. And we talk about everything from dementia so next week is about aging in place, which is important because a lot of people want to age in place, but there's a lot of misconceptions about what aging in place takes. So we have we're going to have those conversations on the stage. We do have a YouTube channel if anyone wants to check that out and see what we're doing. I'm very transparent about what we do. I will say that it takes a village. I have an employee that runs that. And it is a full, like we finish that seminar and the very next day we start prepping for the next month. It is intense. We've had amazing speakers on our panel. We talk about internet safety. We talk about, oh gosh, see, I blink when I get up here. Next month, we're talking about home health care options. We're kind of following the aging in place progression. Downsizing is a really easy conversation, but you don't really want to have that conversation like all the time because you don't want anyone in the room to feel like, oh, she's trying to get me to sell my house, right?
Right.
And so making sure that we are building that trust and making sure that they understand that we have good resources. I had a really good idea. I'm so excited. I had a really good idea to do a safety corner. So I think we're going to try and implement that where if someone gets a piece of mail that looks like a scam or they get a text message that looks like a scam, we'll have somebody set up at the event. So we'll tell them, hey, listen, bring it. Like, don't click on it. Don't respond to it. It might be real, but bring it to us.
Oh,
and this is your
awesome.
safe place. So
How much have you heard them be like, I've signed up for all these services like Google and iCloud and I'm spending hundreds of dollars. I don't know how to stop.
Yeah. Well, and to be very honest with you, romance scams are really, really bad with that demographic. I had a woman recently that guys, I was visiting her literally in a rehab facility, for lack of a better. And she was saying, well, he's coming to get me from Utah next week. And I was like, okay, and would not have a conversation that wasn't real. Ran numbers on her home, kind of started the title process of everything. Her finances were in such disarray. She had no money. She no longer she was not going to be able to make anything off the sale of her home. And I said, you need to let it go. You need to just let it go. Because like, even if somebody came in and paid top dollar for it, she was still going to be upside down. Yeah. I mean, it was not going to happen. And 2 cats had been living in there by themselves for 3 months. And so they were not paying top dollar for that. So, I mean, those romance scams are really bad. So like, making sure that people have the resources to have those conversations. Wow. Yeah.
Has she given him money already?
Huh? Yeah.
Has she?
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything. Everything. Yeah.
In my family.
It's
My
awful.
stepmom.
It's awful.
And it's-
And they won't tell people because they're embarrassed. But
Yeah.
Senior Living Truth Series is a safe place for people to come, ask questions, learn, have resources. We are supported by education sponsors. We have some really great ones. We have Our Best Bank. We have Alzheimer's Association. We have Oklahoma DHS is an education sponsor. So we have really good resources.
So where do you do that?
Francis Tuttle off of Rockwell. And we were just approached by Moore Norman Technology Center. And so they've asked us, that was really cool because like, we're like trying to do this thing. We're so used to be the ones like, please let us come. Like, can we please do this?
Yeah.
I
And
promise
now
we'll be
they're
good. Yeah. And then Moore Norman was like, we heard what you're doing at Francis Tuttle and we want you here. What would we do to get you here?
That's crazy. Do you ever go into some of these large assisted living places and do seminars there?
All the time. I speak at, I speak at communities all the time. I just spoke at Southwest Mansions a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I love that your heart's in this because I'm about the heart and about passion and about what you're doing and what you're bringing to these folks. But that also has to really help your business as well.
Yes, it does. It is a long play. Like it is not like you don't walk in there and you think, oh, everybody here is going to list my house because you are building rapport.
You bet.
The majority of the people in that room do not want to sell their home.
Right.
But you know what? We have some people who have actually written into their estate plan that when they pass, they want our company. You can have that written into an estate plan.
Wow.
And so we have clients who are like, okay, kids, this is who you use.
Yeah.
And so that feels good too,
Yeah.
to know that they trust us.
Well,
to
you're
that
here for the
level.
long haul. So it is
Yeah.
a long game, but
Yeah.
what
Well,
a worthy long game.
Yeah.
If
It is.
if you find.
Yeah, the
Right.
pipeline
So-
moves real slow, which is what, if any team leaders in here, like this is the conversation at our, as I'm meeting with my team, and I'm like, guys, like remember
It's building a
this
career.
pipeline has to keep growing because it's so slow.
Well, it's building a career rather than like, today business. It's like,
Yes.
deep roots.
Yeah.
If you want to go pay your bills next month and the month after that, go buy leads and hustle that. But you do this, you're staying.
It's
You've got
more of a
difference.
like consultant position.
Oh.
Right? Because I try to tell them like, please don't do anything to your house at all without talking to me. Because how many times have you gone into a house, like this happens to me a lot, and you go in and it's like this sweet little widow and she's precious. And she's like, I just got new carpet. And you're like, oh, I love your pink carpet. Fantastic. And she's like, I got the thickest pad there is. And I'm like, awesome. I can't wait to market your pink carpet. And so like we try to talk, or my little widowers, which they're the other side. Like this is what they do. They're like, I got the most expensive shingles I paid $35,000 for my roof. And I'm like, oh, great. I love that for you. Or like, I bought the biggest AC unit. And I'm like, well, good. That's great.
To nothing. When I say nothing, I mean
Yeah. And the
nothing.
house is like carpet in the kitchen and bathrooms, right? But that $35,000 roof is like,
That's an age group. That's an
I
age
love it
thing.
so much. I love it so much. So I'm always like, we talk a lot about like, please talk to someone before you hire the person who knocks on your door.
Yeah.
So
No kidding.
anyway,
So,
That's great.
okay, so what's your wealth plan? Where do you go from here?
okay. So
Or I'm gonna
yeah.
start with one of the
can I tell
questions
you what my
first.
team looks like
Yeah.
first?
This is
Okay,
what I
let's
just
go
wanted to know.
Okay. So I do not like a big team. I have no desire to have a big team. I am, and because I'm very transparent and very open, I will only put people in my room that I can trust completely. So I'm very selective. My other rule is I will never hire someone I can't fire.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very selective. I did break it one time because my mom does work for me. So, but I think
Can you fire her?
I think I could if I needed to, but I'm just try really hard not to. But so my team, we'll talk about real estate first. So Shannon Steiger, does anybody know Shannon? Anybody? She's fantastic. So she worked for the Buckaloos. So when I purchased that business, she came over as my listing assistant. She is salary. So she does all of our listings and I pay her a salary. I have 2 buyer's agents. They are commission. And I have a transaction coordinator. She is very new and we are going to make it through together. But she is per transaction, but she is captive. So she's in my office. We also have a part-time support person that's a fancy word for like, she catches everything that falls. And she works mostly as Shannon's assistant because at any given time, we'll have 25 to 30 listings and that's a lot for Shannon to handle.
Right.
And so, so she kind of helps Shannon with that.
When you mentioned your production earlier, was that the whole team or is that you?
Yeah. Yes, it's the
Okay.
whole team. Yeah. So it's
It's really-
It's super impressive. I was about to like lose my mind that if that was all you, I was like, what the heck?
well, I did 104 transactions by myself in 2021, and I had a TC,
Oh my gosh.
but I did hate my life.
Yeah.
So that was not super fun.
I did half of that in my life. So.
Yeah, it was horrible. And also beautiful because you learn the value of people when you're in a situation like that. So anyway, so I have that. And then I have Amy. She is my executive assistant. And she kind of works as a director of ops. Like I would say but ultimately she's my executive assistant and she just kind of handles all of that. So she's salary, Shannon's salary, Anna, our support person, is part-time. Transaction is per transaction, and the 2 buyer's agents are commission.
So did you go on all listings and then they do all the buyers?
Yes.
Okay.
I will work. Okay. So what I found, we had a really hard, did anybody else have a hard January and February this year? Was it hard for anybody else? Oh, yes, it has been a hard year. January and February were hard for us in our team. And so I looked at my buyer's agents and I was like, guys, I'm handing everything over to you guys and I got to pay my bills here. And so I need to see, we just needed some accountability. And so I did pick up some buyers. I was like, I'm going to do some buyers because I'm going to inject some cash flow into the business. Because we have to.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna make it through this, we have to. So like again, I'm gonna
Because you have all these salary people.
Yes, and I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. Like it's not always hard, and like I'm not gonna come in here and be like, we're fine. Our numbers look great. I track everything and I catch things early. I will say that because I watch our numbers and we run a lot of pie charts. My team hates my pie charts, but I love them. So all of that to say, I do work with some buyers just to kind of inject some cash flow into the business. but I don't really, most of the 9 times out of 10, I don't really work with clients.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not even really sellers, because Shannon works with our sellers.
So she's handling it's not just listing management, she's going out on the listing?
She goes on, yeah. If it's somebody from like mine that I know,
You'll take
or
that.
or somebody that I know has referred it to me, I will go. Sometimes I'll take her with me,
Gotcha.
but I'll kind of do a baton pass. So I'll go in first, talk to them. We also have a system where I send a weekly update to every client that we have once a week.
Yep.
So I'm keeping my hands on the transactions. We have a system where people, everybody on the team is responsible for getting me updates on their stuff. So I review it and then I send the updates out on Tuesday mornings. So I'm keeping an eye on everything for sure. Toxic trait, I guess.
So are you moving towards stepping out or
No,
or just
I
staying
still,
a CEO?
so I actually still really, really enjoy real estate.
Yeah. Okay.
I have gotten to do the parts of the real estate that I enjoy, and I don't have to do the other parts. So for instance, I love the strategy side of things. I love strategic problem solving. I love the math.
Mhm.
I have created a full spread. I have a spreadsheet that I made that's customized.
Brady, he's a spreadsheet.
Oh, yeah. So I
That's it.
created it with all of these specific formulas so that I can project exactly what's going to happen and how the movement for that particular neighborhood is. And I love it so much. So I really enjoy the math. I love the strategic planning. I love giving people options and figuring out, like I said before, what somebody needs, like what's a win for them and how do I make it work. I tell kind of my catchphrase is like I'm not going to make you fit into my box. I'm going to build a box for what you need. And so, going in, figuring out what that looks like to that person. And I want to continue to do that. I super hate dealing with other real estate agents. I don't love it. I don't love it because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what they're doing. And I just want to be like, sit down. And so I don't like
something
to.
to prove.
Yes.
That's
I think, did you know, I don't know if you've been tracking this, but I track everything. And did you know that right now, 2 or 3 weeks ago, for the past month or so, 1 in 4 contracts was busting.
Yeah.
But this week I ran my numbers. Yesterday I ran for the entire Oklahoma City. We're now up to 1 in 3 contracts busting. And from our side, we are very listing heavy. We do more listings than buyers. And what we are seeing is that buyers agents are getting in the way of their own clients and they're trying to be the hero and they're busting deals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that all of them are busting because of repair negotiations, but just based on our little, man, I'm telling you what, we're trying to find solutions and they're like, man, no, we need, whatever. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding
we
me?
got options.
Yeah, I know, it's bananas. So I don't love that. I hate repair negotiations. I'd rather just say how much money do you want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give me $1, we'll work it out. Because if we repair something, then you're going to go to the walkthrough and be like, I don't like the way the caulk works. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I don't love that part of it. But I love the relationship part of it. And I love building relationship and rapport with people. And I love figuring out what their options are and letting them choose and then helping them walk through that. And I don't see that going away anytime soon.
Absolutely not. I mean, what you're bringing is a skill set and knowledge. And I think people like the strategy part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that don't understand that quite yet
Right.
that are out there.
Yeah.
So
Takes
Okay,
a
well,
minute.
I could ask you a zillion more questions, but we have about 10 minutes left, if that. And I wanted to bring in the group here to ask questions for our Miss Becky.
I mean, I have so many things I want to talk about.
Okay.
So what's your main CRM?
Right now we're using Bold Trail. Don't love it. We
Say
came
it again?
Bold Trail. It used to be KV Core.
Yes. Gotcha.
It's okay. It has more capabilities on the website side of things, which is what we were looking for. We were looking to like link some things and have some additional pages that we weren't able to do. We were with Brevity before.
That's where
And I don't dislike Brevity. I just didn't like that you couldn't customize the website the way that we wanted to. So that's what we were looking for.
and what did you want it to?
So like we wanted to be able to link it back to some of our other businesses and have pages where like we could integrate extra pages on where people didn't realize that they were leaving our website, if that makes sense, because we have because of the different businesses that we.
Brevity wouldn't let you.
No, there was some technical capabilities that did. Oh, and we didn't talk about this though, but I have a marketing assistant and an audio visual assistant. And so they kind of helped me with some of the tech stuff, and it was just clunky and not doing what we wanted it to do.
I get that.
Yeah, Bold Trail is better. I don't think it's perfect.
As far as front-facing website.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's so many things. Should I keep talking?
Just raise your hand if you want to interrupt Grady. Go ahead, Grady. But you ask great questions, so
I
go
mean,
for it.
there's so it's funny because in so many ways I feel sympathetic. It's like our business, it's me, it's Shay, licensed assistant, and then we have a virtual assistant who's our transaction coordinator. I've intentionally kept it small for a long time, and I've thought about trying to add to it. I really like being able to control my little world, and so there's like there you know, and as you're talking, it feels very familiar. See, I don't want it to get out of my reach, out of my control.
Right.
And at the same time, I also hear like coaching things that have been said to me, like you gotta get through the messy middle, you gotta push through some stuff to get to things you want, blah blah blah. Well, like I do love the idea of like training, coaching, helping other agents get to the next thing. I have intentionally not really hired sales agents because that you've done that.
It was hard,
But
it
you-
was really hard.
And you use the showing model. You
We use a joint partner.
showing partner model.
So and that was born out of in 2020. My wife was going to come join me in real estate, and I didn't know how to like bridge the gap and like grow it to where she could quit her job. So I just went nuts on advertising and learning how to advertise and remarketing and this and that. And so I went, all in on that. And in 2020, my business tripled. And it was just me, and I did like 53 deals. And I borrowed somebody's TC who wasn't really doing it. I was still coordinating everything. She was just putting everything in command. And so I just about like died. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of that year, my wife was coming into the business. We had hired a virtual assistant to be our TC. And then my dad passed away. And so I was forced to kind of like pull back and take care of family stuff. Well, the business kept growing. So I was forced to take my hands off because I'm a control freak.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see what happens when you rely on other people and all that. And I have these very mixed feelings of like, well, I want you to do it my way. And sometimes I'm right. And sometimes it's like, just shut up, don't worry.
Yeah.
And so this is the part that I struggle with. Like, how much do I insert, my opinions and go, this really needs to happen this way.
So if I can answer that. So my coach and I have been working on that a lot because I am such a collaborator that sometimes I'm like, well, maybe they know better than me. And my coach is like, Becky, you did not get your business to this point not knowing what you're doing and how to take care of people.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to sit down and take some time to think about your non-negotiables and the things that make you unique, because the big things are really not what it's the micro decisions that we make that make us unique. And those are the hardest to verbalize. And sometimes it feels like no one can do it like me, but with the proper systems, they can.
Mm-hmm.
And with the proper people, so do you do Enneagram at all? Are you guys Enneagram
7.
people?
Oh yeah,
3.
7.
Oh, you're 7? Amy, my assistant's a 7, and I love it. And I'm married to an 8, and Shannon's an 8.
Okay.
But I have a really hard time with 1s though. But what I will say is that buy-in is very important to me. Like, I do not want to have to convince someone to do it my way. I need someone to buy in and trust me, trust the system, and follow it.
Yeah.
And
So I've looked up and gone, oh, we've been doing it that way for 3 years. Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
yeah,
And so, and we're at this point like where we need to do a re-diagnosis of how we do certain things.
Okay,
Yes,
so
really
we do, so every October, in fact, we have one in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We do a full day planning meeting for the next year. Everybody on our team has a booklet that is their personality assessment. We have like 5 that we use, and a summary of everybody else on the team. And a thing that says, like, if you're having conflict with this person, this is the best way to approach this person. If you want to show this person gratitude, this is how they best receive it. It might sound kind of hippie and hokey, but in my opinion, in a small group where everybody has to pull their weight so strongly, and in a market that's shifting, we've all read Shift, and it says that, you know, the same amount of people have to work twice as hard to get the goals. When we're working that hard, we have to see each other and like truly see each other's hearts and souls and intentions. And so when we're working with people and doing that team meeting, a lot of things that we're doing are going back to basics. And so everybody has to fill out an assessment, not only for their own personality, but like, what are a SWOT analysis? What are our opportunities? But part of that also is, what have we gotten away from that defined us before? And not that we need to go back to that, but we look at it every year because we're like, okay, what has fallen through the cracks? And I would say, even on a small team, on a large team, I don't know that it would be very effective, but on a micro team, like, I think it's really important for everyone to say, like, this is my strength, this is the opportunity, these are the threats, and here are the things that might have gotten lost in the hustle of things. So that to me has always been really important.
Cool.
What
Do you-
number are you? 3.
Do you have a template for how you do that?
I have an Amy for how I do that.
I know Amy.
Yeah,
But you said
she's
you have 5 things. You see like 5 different personalities.
5 different personality
So
assessments. Yeah.
what are they?
Oh gosh.
Myers-Briggs?
Enneagram for sure. No, I actually don't like Myers-Briggs. I know. The DISC for sure. Strength finders. Yep. Appreciate the 5 love languages.
Yes.
Mm.
And
That's probably the most important one.
there's another one. Maybe we should do 4. I don't know. That's an Amy question. But she puts those booklets together, and Strength Finders always surprises me because I look at my Strength Finders and I'm like, and I do update it every once in a while because we grow as people, right? Like we change. And so I just did it and I was like, that's not me. And then I started reading it. I was like, oh, that's me. So anyway,
I love that. I think that is so important, especially with small. We took the KPA of our
we do
leadership.
use the KPA, yeah.
the leadership team, and we took our KPA for Crystal and for MCA front desk, and we loaded it into AI
Oh, that's smart.
and said, "Tell us about how we best work together." It's pretty cool.
That's super smart.
It's
It's
cool.
really
How
important
do
to
you
know
win? How do you
because
lose? People.
when you are in a very, very small team, and one person gets irritated, it can, and we have very direct conversations in my office too. Like if I notice something, I will pull, and this is a conversation I've had with more than one person on my team. I like you and I care about you and I want to continue to like you. And if that means that you need to exit this team for me to continue to like you and have professional respect, then let's do that. Because I don't want it to get to a point where I don't like you or I don't see your value, and I want this the same from you. For me, I want you to look at me and see my strengths. And if that means that we can't work together, I would prefer that because I value more than this working relationship. I value you as a person.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we took that Enneagram actually on vacation. We went on vacation with some friends. And it was amazing. It made the vacation better. Like we understood where each of us were coming from. And so you're like, you start to give leniencies, whereas otherwise you're like irritated. Or
When you see people based on what their fears are and what their motivations are, then you do have compassion for other people. Absolutely. And you see, oh, this is how they took that. So I need to communicate with them in this way, or it will become a cancer in our relationship. And it also takes some humility in not being the person to be like, well, I don't care how you feel. This is the way that I feel. Right. And saying like, it's more effective for me to communicate with you in the way that you communicate than for me to just make you bend to me.
Mm. A lot of self-awareness to be able to do all that. So,
Mhm.
all right. Any other questions?
Wanted to just-
Grady's gonna hit you up after.
He's
I'm
gonna
telling you,
lunch, Grady.
He's gonna.
Well,
order.
here's the thing though, is there's so many people like Jerica and Grady, and I'm sorry I don't know the rest of you, but I you know, I'm Kyle in the back of the room. I'm like, I need to be sitting out there and listening to them talk because I like, what do I know? But I do think like it's so cool that you do this because I feel like I should be listening to Grady talk instead of vice versa. And so I'm happy to pick your brain over lunch
Let's
anytime.
do it.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, I love that too. Well, Becky, thank you so much. It is such a pleasure seeing you again, and thank you for taking the time to come
Of course.
and spread your love on us. So.
And can I just say also before you say that, like, do not be afraid to pick a specialty. Like, please, like that's the thing that I want everyone to know. This is a very rare profession where people don't specialize. If you think about attorneys, doctors, like accountants, even like all of these people that we respect and hold high, they've all specialized and honed their skill, and it's so important.
Well, I can also imagine that you probably get quite a bit of referrals
Yes.
from agents saying, I don't know how to help you. I'm going to let Becky help
Yeah.
you.
So I actually get referrals in the Oklahoma.
That's what I'm saying, in the area.
because like
as
people
well as outside.
because it's almost, to me, it's almost irresponsible to do something like a probate if you really don't know how.
Yeah.
And so I get, because there are multiple different types of probates, and you have to know the intricacies, and you have to understand judicial law when it comes to that. And so like when I have agents all the time call me and be like, somebody told me that you know how to do probates, and I'm like, I can.
Yep.
I can do
Got
it.
Got it.
So
Well, any other questions?
thanks,
I'll
guys.
say it.
All right. Thank you so much, but let's give her a hand for coming. Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks. I just
appreciate you.
Anyway.
I don't know how to stop this. I'll let you do that. I just kind of played with it and didn't know what I was doing.
Are you selling any like pro app